Donald Trump, President 2.0, social media heavyweight, and now, surprisingly, a possible victim of internet fakery. Well, that's what late-night host Jimmy Kimmel thinks, and he's not holding back. In a fiery monologue that lit up both television and Twitter, Kimmel roasted Trump for falling for a meme that most of us would swipe away after half a second. Let's break down the meme, the meltdown, and the meaning behind it all. A photo started making the rounds on right-wing social media. It showed a man, supposedly an undocumented immigrant, with a tattoo that read, MS-13, clearly visible on his finger. The implication? That the U.S. is being overrun by violent gang members who are slipping through the cracks in the immigration system. The image was alarming, to say the least. For Trump supporters, it was another piece of evidence that immigration laws need to be even stricter. For Trump himself, it became a talking point. He referenced the image in an interview and on social media, using it to illustrate what he called the dangers of open borders and weak democratic policies. But here's the kicker: the image wasn't real. Upon investigation by multiple independent fact-checkers, it turned out the photo had been digitally altered. The tattoo was photoshopped onto the man's hand. The original image showed no such ink, no MS-13, no gang affiliation at all. In fact, the man in the photo had no criminal record and was a legal U.S. resident. So what happened here? A meme designed to stir fear and reinforce a narrative was picked up and amplified by one of the most powerful political figures in the world. Trump believed it, or, at least, claimed to. This wasn't the first time either. From hurricane maps altered with the sharp to statistics pulled from dubious sources, Trump has often walked the blurry line between misinformation and manipulation. The real issue is not that a meme existed, memes are everywhere. It's that a former president used one, unverified, as political ammunition. Enter Jimmy Kimmel, America's late-night conscience and one of Trump's most vocal critics. On his show, Kimmel aired the now viral meme and then absolutely torched Trump for believing it. His words were biting but laced with comedic genius. If it's in Comic Sans and it has a bald eagle somewhere in the background, Kimmel joked, Trump probably thinks it's an official government document. The audience roared with laughter, and the clip quickly racked up millions of views online. But Kimmel didn't stop there. He highlighted a pattern, saying, "This isn't about one photo. This is about a guy who thinks memes are research." The audience laughed again, but the deeper message was clear: when leaders can't distinguish between social media fiction and real-life fact, democracy itself becomes fragile. Kimmel also pointed out the absurdity of the meme's design. The tattoo was poorly rendered, suspiciously clean, and placed in a way that would be almost impossible in real life. It looked like someone used Microsoft Paint to draw it on, Kimmel quipped. Of course, Kimmel's approach is to mock, to laugh, to make people think through comedy. But satire only works when it's rooted in truth. And the truth here is almost unbelievable. Trump, who had access to the most powerful intelligence agencies in the world, got duped by a low-res meme. While Kimmel's segment was hilarious, it raises a much darker question: what happens when leaders of nations begin basing real-world decisions and narratives on internet memes? Memes are designed to go viral, not to tell the truth. They simplify complex issues into catchy, emotional snapshots. That's what makes them powerful, but also dangerous. When someone like Trump uses a fake meme to justify a political viewpoint, it creates a feedback loop. His followers believe it more, they share it more, and suddenly, fiction becomes public consensus. And this isn't new for Trump. During his first term, he repeatedly shared debunked conspiracy theories, retweeted false claims, and even cited articles from known fake news websites. The danger isn't just misinformation, it's the normalization of misinformation. If a fake meme can influence public opinion, what else can? AI-generated videos. Deep fakes. False crime statistics. When does it stop? And more importantly, what does it say about us, the audience, the voters, the citizens, if we don't demand more? If you thought Trump would take the criticism lightly, think again. Shortly after Kimmel's monologue aired, Trump took to Truth Social to defend himself. He insisted the image was probably real and accused Kimmel of being a Hollywood puppet. He then launched into a tirade against the media, claiming they were conspiring to silence the truth. He also suggested that the meme was symbolically accurate, even if technically fake. That's right, Trump essentially argued that even if the photo was fabricated, it represented a reality he believed to be true. This is classic Trump rhetoric. Instead of admitting error, he doubles down. Instead of correcting misinformation, he reframes it as a misunderstood truth. And instead of showing accountability, he attacks the messenger. In this case, that messenger was a comedian. But that doesn't make Trump's response any less alarming. Trump's supporters rallied behind him, echoing his claim that the fake meme was actually symbolic. It's a chilling thought, that some people now view reality not as something objective, but as something flexible, malleable, something you can bend to your political will. And all of this, over a Photoshop tattoo. Let's step back for a second. Sure, we've laughed at Trump. We've seen Jimmy Kimmel's takedown. But here's the uncomfortable truth, this isn't just about one man. We live in a world where outrage travels faster than facts. Where more people share memes than read news. And where our attention spans are hijacked by viral absurdity. So yes, Trump fell for a meme. But how many of us have? Have we reshared without checking? Believed headlines we didn't open? Laughed at something that was never real? In a way, this meme moment says more about us than about Trump. If we want smarter leaders, we need to be smarter followers. If we want truth, we have to demand it, not just from them, but from ourselves. And next time you see a meme with Comic Sans font and a flaming eagle, maybe, just maybe, fact check it first. Fake versus fact. Let's be honest. This isn't just about Trump. It's about a larger cultural problem. When a person in power can't, or won't, distinguish between what's fake and what's real, the consequences are massive. Remember the Sharpegate hurricane map? The time Trump altered an official weather forecast with a marker to avoid admitting he made a mistake. That was another moment where fact was bent to fit ego. This latest meme incident is just another dot on the timeline of misinformation. And it begs the question, are we living in a post-truth world? If our leaders treat facts as optional, if truth becomes negotiable, then what anchors our decisions? What keeps policy grounded? What protects democracy from drifting into delusion? Trump's meme blunder is funny, sure. But it's also a red flag. What's more dangerous than fake news? A real president who believes it. We can laugh at the memes, mock the responses, and even enjoy a few good late-night jokes. But in the end, if we don't take truth seriously, we're all at risk. So fact-check your memes, question your leaders, and always ask, is this real, or just really viral?